Hello everyone, my name is Davik and thank you so much for tuning into the video today. Today, I actually want to do something different and give you my impressions on The Last of Us Part 2. I occasionally play video games, so I definitely have my impressions on them and I wanted to give you my thoughts on the game. So with that said, I hope you enjoy the video. Yeah, for this review, I wanted to break it down actually into 4 parts. To begin with, I'm going to start off with the story, because that's definitely the most controversial part, and so I think it's better I tackled that controversy head on. And then from there, I'm going to talk about the gameplay, the graphics, and the music. And so full disclaimer right now, if you haven't played the game, I would leave right now, because this will have full spoilers. Even if you've seen the leaks, this game is worth playing even after the leaks, and there's a lot of stuff that you might not know, so if you don't want the game to get the game spoiled for you, I would leave right now. But with that said, let's go to the story. So, talking about the story, let's talk about the most controversial part, which is definitely Joel's death and Abby. And so, talking about Joel's death, so preface, I've been waiting for this game for 7 years, and I did not see the leaks, so I went in head on without any knowledge on about anything, and so when it did happen, yeah, I was pissed, and I was like, yo, what? I thought it was going to be Joel. I thought it was going to be Joel and Ellie part 2. What the hell happened? But honestly, in the context of the game, now that I'm done, I honestly think it was appropriate. I do wish maybe it was handled a little better. I wish there was a little more build up, or I don't know. But I guess that really fits into the world of the game, where this world is not, hero triumphs over all. This it's gritty, it's realistic, it's depressing. And so starting off the game with a bang, I think really set up the tone for the game in general and the world. Reestablished it, especially for me after playing the game after so long. After the first part 1 after 7 years. And so for me, really reestablished the world. And of course, it was necessary, especially for the story. You're supposed to be angry that Abby killed Joel. You should want to kill her. That's the whole point. But as the story went on, I think what was really, at least for me, what really stood out was, you really get to see her perspective on things about why she's doing what she's doing, and that's sort of, honestly, you start empathizing with Abby, which is crazy to me. I didn't think that was gonna happen, but honestly, as time went on, I felt worse for Abby than I did for Ellie. Of course we lost Joel, but Abby lost all her friends and her dad and everybody. And so by the time it came to the end of the game and you were on a one-on-one fight with Abby and Ellie, I was so conflicted about who I support, because both of them have just lost everything. And I think that's what the cycle of revenge is. It's supposed to show you that at the end of the day, how destructive that cycle of revenge can be, and how one action can lead to another and just destroy everything in its path. And of course, I understand to some people that seems really cheesy, but for me at least, the message was well received and I thought it was executed really well. And I think that, on a side note, it really shows how games are going beyond this medium of just an escape from your daily life. It's supposed to ask those questions like movies do. And of course, you have games that are supposed to be an escape from your daily life, like GTA or something, but this Naughty Dog games, I don't think are supposed to be that. Or Uncharted, at least, might be like that, but especially not Last of Us. It's supposed to be much more of a deep emotional game, and I think that's so true. I mean, I was thinking the whole time, so I didn't have a problem with it. I thought in the context of the story, it worked well for me. Of course, I was pissed. Hell, I might still be pissed, but at the same time, I understand where they're coming from, and at the end of the day, I understood where Abby was coming from, which I think with this game, both of those key things have to work out for you to really appreciate this story. And if it didn't, I'm not blaming it on you, or I'm not saying, yo, what the hell, why didn't, it makes sense, that's fine. But that's where I think the two camps lie, at least the ones that aren't the trolls, where for one camp, it really worked out, the Abby and Joel story. Those two events didn't ruin the story for them. That was actually what elevated the story for them. While the other camp is, they couldn't get out of this hatred for Abby and look beyond Joel's death. That sort of like just jarred them for the whole game. But anyway, beyond those controversial moments, this game was phenomenally acted. Some of the best acting I've ever seen in any piece of work, like movie, video game, whatever. And you know, those moments that we were expecting were there as well. You know, those really tense emotional moments. Whether that's her playing the guitar in the guitar shop, or you know, when it's her birthday and she imagined that she's going up to space. Those moments were there, and I really appreciated that. I mean, especially this moment, like.
I do okay.
Are you fucking kidding me?
You're welcome, kiddo.
It's just simply brilliant to me, the way these guys tell the story. I mean, it's nothing short than a movie to me, and I think I'll probably make a separate video about this in the future, but it's really blurring the lines between a movie and a game. And I think, honestly, with the quality of writing and the quality of acting we're seeing right now, video games are really going to come in the forefront in terms of storytelling. But anyway, that's a topic for a separate video. For me personally, to wrap this up, I think it was a 10 out of 10 story. There were some flaws, no doubt, but it really resonated with me. Like I said, like if the Abby stuff and the Joel stuff rubbed you the wrong way, then it's probably going to be more like a 6 out of 10 or 5 out of 10 for you. But for me, I really understood what they were going for, and it caught me the right way. So honestly, it's probably the best like story I've seen in a long time. And even like 2 or 3 weeks after I'm done the game, I'm still thinking about it. So that's can't be anything but a 10 out of 10 for me. Moving on from there, let's talk about the gameplay. And you know, I think this is probably less controversial. I thought the gameplay was phenomenal. I think the way the whole world came together and the way the story alongside the gameplay came together was amazing. Every moment felt tense when I was supposed to feel tense, and the moments that were emotional felt emotional. Like, I thought they did it brilliantly. I was scavenging all the time, like you should be doing in this world. The moment I met anybody, whether it's infected or humans, you know, my heart started pounding. It was intense. I felt the adrenaline rushing, and I think that's exactly what's supposed to be. What I really liked actually was the guitar mechanic too, because you know, when we had these emotional moments beforehand in the part 1, it was more in cutscenes, which of course is perfectly fine. But I really liked in this one where you're playing the guitar for Dina or as Ellie in certain moments, and what it symbolizes. And I feel like you feel that character struggle a lot more when you are actually participating as the character. And so I really liked what they did. And plus, for the first time in almost 7 years, the touchpad was actually useful for something. So definitely really appreciated that. I think otherwise, you know, gameplay mechanics, I liked. I mean, they didn't go crazy away from the formula, but I really loved the first game's gameplay as is. But I think what they really did do well was, you know, they added nice mechanics to really add around to the world. For example, dogs made you feel like, holy shit, like I hate these dogs. They're hunting me down. That adrenaline rush went onto another level whenever a dog came in, at least for me. And even with the infected, like, of course, the infected levels were sort of similar last time, but they still added variation with the stalker, and God knows that rat king in the hospital was crazy too. So I really liked what they did with the gameplay, and I thought it really fit well. They did a great job, and yeah, like it was hard to top the first game as is. I thought the gameplay was great for that too, but this one I think took it to another level, and for me, it's decidedly better than the first game. Whether you think the story or everything else is up to you, but I think most of us can agree that the gameplay definitely was. And so yeah, 10 out of 10 for me on the gameplay. So talking about the graphics, I mean, yeah, this is probably very less not controversial at all either. Graphics were amazing. simply, I think the best game I've ever seen on PlayStation 4, maybe ever. I don't have a top tier gaming PC, so I probably am not the best judge for that, but even then, like, these are some phenomenal graphics, and they've really taken everything out of the console. I mean, if your PS4 sounds like a jet engine normally, on The Last of Us Part 2, it went up to another level. Like, amazing graphics. Reflection looked amazing. Broken buildings looked amazing. The way the shrubbery went around the buildings looked amazing. The green of like the forest and the way the forest interacted with, you know, the whole environment looked amazing. 10 out of 10. Like, I think honestly it's hard to top this game graphically, and it makes me more excited for what PS5 and Xbox Series X is going to offer, because if this is the level we're at PS4, I don't know what we're going to be at the PS5. Really, simply amazing. They did an amazing job here. And yeah, now talking about music, I thought music was phenomenal too. Do I think it's better than the first game? No, personally, just because the first game's music is probably in my top 3 soundtracks of all time. But this one wasn't too far either. I think Gustavo did a great job coming back from the first game. Gustavo was the composer for the first game's music, and so I thought he made some really nice additions there. And I think what was really good about the music is when it was supposed to be emotional, it was emotional. You know, Gustavo's guitar came in and really established the scene, and I thought it was really well done. Like, just take a listen to this. What I really also liked about this soundtrack is that the electronic sounds that they've now introduced. And I think there was a new composer, I forget his name, but his last name is Quayle. But the way he introduced those electronic sounds made those intense scenes even more intense, and I actually really appreciated that. I didn't know how well it was going to fit, but it really fit the environment well. And so I thought music was phenomenal. The whole ambience was amazing. And yeah, 10 out of 10 for me. So overall, yeah, I think this game was brilliant. I thought it was 10 out of 10. I know it's controversial. I know for some people it sucked. It didn't live up to the expectations. But for myself, I really liked the new bold direction that they went in. I thought that it was well worth it, and for me, it paid off. That definitely, like, I beat the game now 2 or 3 weeks ago, and even then, I've still constantly thought about it. And so for me, it's honestly probably up there in the top 5 impactful works I've ever witnessed. With the first game being right there as well, but I thought it met my expectations, if not more, from the first game. So definitely, like, for me, it's a 10 out of 10. But I'm happy to debate whether you guys think it or not, and to hear your thoughts. But yeah, no, with that said, thank you so much for tuning into the video. I know Ghost of Tsushima is coming out July 17th, so I'll probably do a review on that too. But yeah, please let me know what you thought about this format. I definitely am not a reviewer. I just decided to start this out because I like playing my games and discussing about them, so I thought might as well do that here too. But yeah, feel free to let me know. Thank you so much, guys, and take care till next one.